Hello, Shona. I understand that you're in a workshop called Time to Talk Money. Would you like to tell us a bit about it, please?
Hi, Claire. The workshop I usually do is for young people in schools or youth organisations, and it's basically to give them an understanding of money before they actually get their first pay.
Yes.
So I find a lot of young people don't really know about the cost of things or what's involved in running a house or whatever. And after a workshop, they actually begin to understand when mum and dad have said no, they can't have something, they understand why they can't actually have something because they've had to pay electricity and gas and all the other bills that come along.
Yes. And why do you think these are important skills for children to know about?
I think it's fundamental really to children's education to find out about money, because quite often you don't hear about it at home, and if you're living in poverty it's really hard to understand how life could be different if you actually had a job and were able to manage your money. Children also don't understand that jobs have different salaries attached to them, and after a workshop they've experienced two different salaries, a lower one and a higher one, and it makes them actually think, I could maybe do another job here and get paid more money, then I'll have more choices in life. So if you actually speak to the children when they're younger, it helps them aspire to something like greater than what they otherwise imagined. It's not just all about money, it's about like accepting what you have and thinking about needs and wants, because a lot of children like want lots of things, but at the end of the workshop they understand that actually if you buy what you need you can save for what you want and have these extras. And sometimes it's actually difficult to manage a lot of money. It's more difficult to manage more money than less, and the children see that, so that whenever they're actually earning money they can stop and think, do I actually need this, do I want it, and do I actually have the money to afford it? Instead of them, in today's instant society, we're not really paying for things with cash. We're using cards on like shops. Anything you do, it's a card, and children aren't actually seeing money change in hands. So we need to like find another way to teach them. And just looking at a textbook these days doesn't mean anything to them, but once they've actually been through a workshop, it's been their job, their money, and how they've spent it. They've made all the decisions, and then they stop to think about the consequences of their decisions, and then get another chance to, once they've reflected, to go and make their choices again. And most often children will change what their choices were because they've thought, I didn't actually need that Xbox or need that big fancy holiday, I couldn't afford it. So we have all sorts of discussions about loans and saving money, unexpected expenses, and just how if you put some money by, you don't need to go and get a payday loan. And do children actually know what a payday loan is? Like these days you can buy a wee top online for like £20 and you can pay it up, over 3 months. But if youngsters start to do that and don't repay it, they can quickly get into financial difficulties.
Yep.
And that's not a good way to start like I was going to say your working life. When you're earning money, you don't really want to start off in that footing. But if you give kids the tools, they'll be able to manage their money way better than a lot of us do now, I guess.
Excellent. Okay. So, as well as learning these skills in your workshops, is there any way do you think these skills can be given to children in just ordinary lessons?
What I'd really like to encourage is teachers to watch out for opportunities in a class, just whether it's a 2-minute comment about buying shopping and the price of milk has gone up, or I bought milk in this shop and it was like way more expensive than going to this other shop. Just sharing their general knowledge. If they're buying a house, oh, I need to get a mortgage, so I need to go to the bank for the mortgage, or I'm buying a car, I can get a loan from the bank, I can lease the car, can do this, that and the other. If you just can share some general knowledge with the children. It doesn't need to be all about money and something that's pre-planned. It can just be a passing comment, but that passing comment can stick with the child. Like, you need insurance for a car, you need road tax. These days we don't even have a tax disc on a car, so children will not see that's an extra bill that comes along with having a car. So when they're buying like 5 Ferraris in the workshop, they then stop and think, actually, I need to put fuel in that car, I need to road tax them all, I need insurance, I need a place to store them. And it just helps them think of the consequences of their actions. So if teachers can just drop things into the conversation, or perhaps think how they could incorporate it in a class lesson. I was speaking to some science teachers and they were thinking they could actually talk about the cost of an experiment in the class. So if they're maybe getting 20 children to do an experiment, how much does that cost? Home economics teacher, they could maybe like cost out how to make a portion of macaroni cheese and actually make the macaroni cheese with the child, and then like buy one in, or tell them how much it actually costs to buy in a supermarket, or show them how a pot of soup, super healthy, doesn't cost so much. Just like tips like this. So there's all sorts of different ways, I guess. It's just to help teachers think and make them aware of the impact that they can have in a child's life.
That's great, Shona. Thanks very much for that. If anyone would like to get hold of you, what are your contact details?
Well, you can call my mobile number. I can put it on the link to this, or I'm on LinkedIn as well, Shona Cowan.
Great. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Claire.